Hi, this is Mr. K, and here's another video with probability. Today we're going to be going over compound events. So first we have independent versus dependent events. Basically the difference between independent events is that with independent events, you're going to have two things happening. That first event, whatever it happens to be, is not going to affect the probability of the second event. A good example of this is if you have a deck of cards, if you take out a card and then put it back into the deck, it won't change the probability of whatever card you draw next. Versus dependent, where the first event will affect the probability of the second event, and that would be if you're taking a card out of the deck and then not putting it back, and then you're going to draw another card. That probability is going to change because you have a different number of cards in your deck. But regardless of whether it's independent or dependent, the probability would still be the probability of the first event times the probability of the second event. The other thing we're going to look at is mutually inclusive and mutually exclusive events. So mutually inclusive means that two things can happen at the same time. So for example, if I wanted to draw a red card and a king, there is a red card that is a king, so I could have both of those things happen at the same time. Whereas mutually exclusive events cannot happen at the same time. And again, regardless of whether it's inclusive or exclusive, you can still use the equation. So the probability of A or B happening is going to be equal to the probability of A plus the probability of B, and then minus the probability of A and B. And so where you can use this is that if the events are mutually exclusive, the probability of A and B would be equal to 0 because they both can't happen at the same time. So we had a couple of examples here. First is going to be what's the probability that we draw a face card and then an ace card with replacements. So that means we're going to be putting the card back into the deck. To do that, we would have 12 face cards in a standard deck of cards out of 52. We would then multiply that by, there are 4 ace cards out of 52 cards in the standard deck of cards. When you multiply those together and reduce the fraction, it should reduce to 3 169ths. And that's it. If we're going to draw a face card and then an ace card without replacement, so we're not going to be putting the face card back, we would still do 12 out of 52. We still have 12 face cards in the deck. However, we're then going to be multiplying by, there are 4 aces still, but there's only going to be 51 cards in the deck, so that's why we're going to multiply by 4 over 51. When you multiply those together, reduce the fraction, you should get 4 221sts. And then last, we're going to go over mutually inclusive and exclusive events. Let's say, I'm making sure we get here, the probability of a face or an ace card. So if I wanted to draw a face card or an ace, I would take the probability of a face card, which is 12 out of 52, and I would add to that the probability of drawing an ace card, which is 4 out of 52, and then the probability of both a face card and an ace card. Well, there aren't any face cards that are aces, so I would subtract 0 out of 52, and you would get 16 50-seconds, and then reduce that fraction, should be 4 13ths. Finally, if I wanted to find the probability of a black card or an 8, I would do the probability of black card, which would be 26 out of 52, because half the cards are black, the other half are red. I would add to that the probability of an 8. There are 4 8s in the deck out of 52, but then I would subtract how many of the cards are both an 8 and a black card at the same time. There are 2. You have the 8 of spades and the 8 of clubs. So if you put all those together, you're going to get 28 50-seconds, which should reduce to 7 13ths. And that's it. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please hit that like button. Also subscribe if you want to see any future content. And then also comment below if you have any questions or if there's anything you want to see. Thank you.